All right, so today we are unboxing the MetaQuest 3S that just came in today. So basically what I've been hearing about this headset and what I've been reading about it is if the MetaQuest 3 or the MetaQuest 2 had a baby, it would basically be the MetaQuest 3S. A lot of educators are, a little disappointed that the MetaQuest 2 is no longer really available out there to get because it was a great entry level headset, especially for education use. The MetaQuest 2 was a great headset, still is, but unfortunately, the MetaQuest 3S is its new replacement. So this is going to be the new entry level headset. So we are going to unbox this today, and we're going to go ahead and try it out. We're going to go ahead and play the Coursera VR simulations in it, and we're going to compare the MetaQuest 2 versus this, and of course come back and contrast it with the MetaQuest 3. So right off the bat, when we unbox it, you're going to notice that the whole point of the MetaQuest 3S is it's basically going to give you the same mixed reality capabilities, but with different lenses. So the MetaQuest 3 has a better lens than the MetaQuest 3S here, because it is pretty much the same lenses as the actual MetaQuest 2, but it has the mixed reality capabilities. Now, the MetaQuest 2, not great for mixed reality just because it has that gray pass through. It's not very clear at all. And then when the MetaQuest 3 came out, it was amazing pass through, full color, everything, very clear picture. This is going to be your in between, basically. It's going to have that same pass through, full color, but not the same lenses, so not as high quality, but still good enough quality to do anything mixed reality you want to do, especially for education purposes. So, one thing I like to point out here is that the MetaQuest 3 and the MetaQuest 3S, the thickness of it, as you can see, the MetaQuest 3 is definitely thinner than the MetaQuest 3S here, and it looks pretty similar. The facial interface looks pretty similar to the MetaQuest 2. So it really does look like the MetaQuest 2, but it has the mixed reality capabilities. It's very similar. And if we go ahead and look at the lens here, so we have the same type of lens where it is kind of those thicker ones. So if we take a look at the lens, they look very similar here with those thicker ones versus compared to the MetaQuest 3 here, which is those thin ones here. So the quality with the MetaQuest 3 is definitely going to be better picture, but with the MetaQuest 3S, when you're using it for educational purposes, this is going to be a great entry-level headset. Also, you might have noticed it is the MetaQuest 3 controllers. So it is the same touch controllers, so they did advance the controllers with this. These are much better, in my opinion, than the MetaQuest 2 controllers. Came with the spacers for glasses and the charger, of course. So looking through it all here, I took off the facial interface as well. It does look like you're going to have to get a silicone cover. Like the MetaQuest 2, though, it does usually come with that silicone cover, so that's something you're just going to have to purchase separately with the MetaQuest 3S, and you had to do so with the MetaQuest 3 as well. But here again, looking at that thickness, it looks thinner than the MetaQuest 2, but also thicker than the MetaQuest 3. So it's really just that in between, that perfect in between. It's a great entry level headset. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and test out the factory strap here, and then which looks very similar to the MetaQuest 3, by the way. And then we're going to go ahead and play some simulations to see if there is any major differences in the quality that we notice here. Hi there, Tom. My name's Will. I'm going to be your nurse today. How are you feeling?
Nice to meet you, Will. I'm doing all right. No more shortness of breath. Just some swollen ankles.
Well, good. I'm glad you're not short of breath anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and give you some medications. Is that okay with you?
Sure, I understand. I'm out of Lasix, though, in case you need to know.
Well, we have some Lasix in stock in the hospital, of course. So can you go ahead and tell me your name and date of birth?
I'm Tom Wilson, born on October 5th, 1967.
Very good. And can you tell me where you are right now?
In a hospital room, here for my health.
Awesome. And do you know what year it is right now?
Yes, it's the year the 2024. Time flies!
It sure does. All right. Can you go ahead and tell me why you're at the hospital?
I suddenly gained weight. My ankles swelled up and my doctor linked it to my heart issue.
Okay. So you're not short of breath or anything, but your oxygen's 89%. Can you go ahead and take a deep breath for me?
Of course, here it goes. Seems fine.
Well, I'm going to put you on just a little bit of oxygen, okay? Just take care of that issue.
Sorry, but what is this option you mentioned? Is it a type of treatment?
No, I'm talking about oxygen for your breathing.
Ah, oxygen therapy, right? No worries. My pulmonologist said it's not necessary at home. But if you think it's best here, I trust you.
Yeah, it shouldn't be permanent, of course. We're just going to put it on for now, just while we're getting the fluid out of your lungs and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and grab your medication, okay? Do you need anything while I'm out there?
No, thank you. I'm quite comfortable right now.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, take your time. I'll be waiting patiently here.
All right, Tom, can you go ahead and lift up your left arm? I'm going to scan your wristband.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to be giving you furosemide, which is Lasix, and I'm going to give you 40 milligrams, and it's going to go through your IV line, okay?
Apologies, but what does this Pharaoh's do exactly? Is it for my swelling?
Yes, it's your Lasix. It's the same thing as Lasix, it's just a different name for it, but it's going to help with your swelling.
Oh, I see. Thank you for clarifying. I used to take Lasix regularly.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give it, okay? I'm going to have to push this slow because we have to always push Lasix slow.
Understood. Please proceed carefully with the Lasix infusion. All
All right, so we played a simulation. It felt great. Everything was clear, no problems at all. The MetaQuest 3S pretty much looks just slightly a little bit better than the MetaQuest 2 in terms of picture. I'm not sure if the specs actually correlate with that or not, but it just feels like the picture's much more clear. Not as good as the MetaQuest 3, of course, but the MetaQuest 3S is plenty clear for any type of game or educational application you're going to use. And then as you can see here, we're recording our mixed reality here. So we're just kind of testing out the camera and it's very clear as you can see. So I'm just going ahead and recording back at you guys and seeing the view here. So things are pretty clear. We can look at the MetaQuest 3 here and kind of look at the detail. You can definitely get on your phone and navigate through your phone while you have the headset on. We did that earlier, had no problems with it. So let's go ahead and compare it with a video with the MetaQuest 3 just so you can see the picture quality difference with a mixed reality. But by the way, the head strap on this is very nice. Honestly, the factory head strap on this is pretty good. I always prefer the head straps that you can get, externally and everything, but that's not a bad head strap at all compared to the old MetaQuest True, which I was not a fan of. It's a lot better. It's a big step up there. So let's go ahead and try out a video on the MetaQuest 3 here. So here is the mixed reality cameras with the MetaQuest 3 versus the MetaQuest 3S that we did earlier. So things are just a little bit more clear in my opinion. You can just see a lot more detail. And of course, going on your phone with this is definitely no problem. It wasn't with the 3S at all either. So you can do pretty much everything is the same. It's just the picture quality is just a little different. So of course, I recommend just doing the MetaQuest 3S if you're looking for something that's cheaper, more entry level, something that's still going to be able to do everything you need it to for educational purposes, anyways. And of course, if you're wanting to get fancy and more long term, maybe the MetaQuest 3 will be a good option for you as well. I hope this video helped you guys out. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.